You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and just like any other time, we have another amazing show. Man, it is going fast. If you're late to the party, it's already 20 days in the new year, so it's time to really lock in. Right now, we have a chance to talk to a special guest today, Rebecca Fitzsimmons. She's the founder of Tactical Harmony. The website is tacticalharmony.com. She does all this holistic leadership coach, and she has a podcast herself that we might learn about a little bit later in the show. But first, we're going to first background inside scoop of what is Tactical Harmony and how she came up with that to deal with people's pain points. So first and foremost, we have the honor talking to you, Rebecca. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm going 10,000 miles per hour. I'm happy. I'm excited. Let's get it going. First and foremost, glad you were able to clear some time off your schedule to talk to our audience and our viewers. If you can, kind of give us a backstory of what birthed the idea of starting Tactical Harmony.
Absolutely. Thank you. So yeah, I'll give a brief overview of my professional trajectory because that really informed who I am, what kind of leader I am, and really the genesis of Tactical Harmony. So my background, it's unconventional. I took some crazy turns in my time, and the majority of my professional life has been as a special agent with the United States federal government. And the majority of those years was with the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, also known as NCIS. And I know we have a TV show out there, but there's also a real NCIS. And although I've had the honor and privilege to consult with our TV show, there's incredible NCIS agents all around the United States. And then wherever our United States Marine Corps and United States Navy go, NCIS agents go. So we're deployed, we're on aircraft carriers, we are in so many different countries, and I've had the honor and privilege to serve not only across so many field offices in the United States, but I also served in our Europe and Africa field office where I was stationed in Naples, Italy for many years. And I served a lot of wonderful countries from Ukraine to Romania to the Netherlands. So it was amazing. And then 3 years ago, I made the life-changing move to see what else was out there and to serve in a different way. And that's when I joined a technology company. And I've been serving in that for the last few years. And throughout all of these years, almost 20 years of experience, I saw firsthand, no matter the industry, no matter the level, if you're a Fed, if you're in the private sector, if you're an entrepreneur, I saw firsthand how mindset and holistic leadership, it solved every single challenge or obstacle or anything along your way. And not only did it solve problems, but it also helped serve people achieve success faster and live their passions and live and align with their purpose and their why in this world. And so seeing this across so many countries and different sectors, that's when I decided to follow my own passion and create Tactical Harmony, which is my business in which I offer holistic leadership coaching. I do workshops, keynote speaking, all things surrounding holistic leadership and mindset. And it's been a wild ride, right? Like if you told me 5 years ago that I would be sitting here talking to you on your amazing show about my business, I would have thought you had 5 heads and you were crazy. But when you follow your passion and you follow what's in your heart, because it's there in your heart for a reason and it may not make sense to others, the world is yours for the taking. So that's a quick overview of myself, my trajectory, and how I created Tactical Harmony.
Now, you said 5 heads. You would have had 6 heads for me if you would have told me I'd be talking to a former NCIS Special Agent. So the honor is truly mine. When it comes to the leadership, especially holistic leadership that you're expert in, a lot of people are looking at different high performance individuals from sports to federal level or government level or corporate CEO. How do you see holistic approach in leadership different from the traditional side leadership approach, and what's the difference in between?
Beautiful question. It's like you read my mind. So holistic leadership, and I'll just define it in the most simplest terms. It is a whole person approach to influence and inspire yourself as well as others. So where I see traditional leadership, and I'll use the word fail, although I call that my favorite F word because I really think it's a learning opportunity. But where I see many traditional leadership models, I'll use the word misstep, is they start with the tactics and strategies on the outside of them. Everything is building the project or focusing on all of these other things outside of them, but they don't start with themselves. And if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. Internal work drives the external results. It's mindset first. It's how you manage yourself, manage your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, manage your family, your friendships, your relationships, your finances, your days, your habits. I mean, we really lead every moment of our lives. And when we change our relationship with that, we start to look through a different lens, a more empowering lens. We start to question our thoughts. Is this a fact or is this a story? Is this thought a limiting belief maybe? Is it just fear or self-doubt taking the wheel? Or is it something that is invigorating, empowering, and is allowing me to develop and nurture and build grit and resilience muscles? Right. And so it really starts with ourself and that awareness and regulation. So then I can translate that to my business, to my teams, to my peers, to my boss, and how I'm able to be aware of them, radically so, all parts of them. And then also how I'm able to regulate and manage that relationship. The whole game changes when you holistically lead your life, your teams, your business, all of the things, because it really means that you're implementing a no stone left unturned approach. Rather than just focusing on one strategy, one thing, you're widening the aperture. You're considering all of the things. So you're opening yourself up to creativity, to innovation, to different perspectives, and you become stronger, better, leaner, and faster as a result. So holistic leadership is something I'm incredibly passionate about because it's really just kind of nudging and introducing and inviting those additional things that we could consider to make us the best leader. So then we are able to serve others more meaningfully and impactfully.
Once again, listen to I Am Refocused Radio and watching us online. Talking to our guest today, Rebecca Fitzsimmons. She's the founder of Tactical Harmony. I'm going to say that right. Tactical Harmony. Go to her website, tacticalharmony.com. Speaking of being tactical, that screams out your former career. How does that rigid discipline play a role in being able to create that harmony effect? Because I can imagine there are some very high pressure moments in your previous career that kind of creates that on the field experience to position you to be able to do what you're doing today.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was very intentional when naming Tactical Harmony because everything we do should be intentional, right? Like I'm talking to you very intentionally. This is a deliberate moment, and we need to start doing that with all facets of our life. Instead of just going through the motions, let's be tactical about it. And in my manifesto, tactical means plan, align, execute, and receive. That's what that means. And that's the framework or the scaffolding that I really take my clients and the businesses through. And then harmony is wholeness, balance, peace, and freedom. Those are the things that we're really trying to achieve. And all of the things, your values, how you anchor to your mission or your vision, all of it really matters. So Tactical Harmony, in NCIS, as you can imagine, I was faced with a lot of very intense situations. I have seen some of the worst days that people can go through, utter horror to moments of pure bliss, the spectrum of human emotion washing all over me. So needless to say, you need to have good coping mechanisms. You need to have some sort of way to have an outlet and to be able to process all of the things, right? Because we are human. So even though I'm in a professional setting, I've got my mission, I'm executing, I'm getting after it, I'm doing all the things, I still have my humanity, my personal self, which is holistic leadership. So I have to be able to tend to my mind, to my body, and to my spirit. And so I need to be tactical and very intentional about that. So for me, that looks like meditation. That looks like going outside and grounding in nature. It's doing things that light me up to fill my cup, because when I do those things, I'm the best Rebecca and leader that I can be. And then I'm going to show up more powerfully to my team. And especially, and I've been in the leadership ranks since 2016. The traditional leadership rank. So I've led teams. I've had the honor and distinct privilege of leading teams around this world. And they're always paying attention. They're always watching. So you want to make sure that you're not go 24/7, right? Like, there's going to be times and cases and ops where I was going 24/7, multiple days. I don't know what sleep is. And that was what that particular operation or mission required of me. But that doesn't need to be the norm, because leaders, we set the tone. So we need to be able to take care of ourselves, tend to all parts of us. So then we show up more powerfully for them. And we're setting such a great example of all of these agents or entrepreneurs or clients that are, going along their own journey and trying to figure it out.
I like how you said earlier about how we deal with our inner world, how we are building that part of ourselves up affects our outer world. And I think that's really important to take note on, because when you personally think about freedom, abundance, and bliss, it takes some kind of inner working, some kind of self-development to be able to appreciate those moments. How would you define those terms? And what are some of the things that high performance individuals can use to create a possibility to enjoy those moments?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, it's such a personal thing. Like what I define as abundance, it could be a little bit different than how you define it. And to clarify it for me, it's not financial abundance. Certainly that's a part of all the things, right? But it's really having that state of mind and abundant lifestyle. I live abundantly when I feel good and I'm grateful. I live abundantly when I align with my values and I show up each day and I don't just talk or dream about my passions, but I'm living them. I may not always get it right, and I'm going to stumble along the way, but that's a part of it and not something to fear. And so to kind of go into what you asked about high performance habits, discipline is a huge thing. I'm very passionate about discipline. It is one of the 4 huge pillars of what I define as a victory mindset. And discipline for me, it really is the ultimate expression of self-love. It means you're doing the things when you want to do them, and you're doing the things especially when you don't want to do them. Because let's pick on like a gym example. It's 05. Hey, it's a new year. I'm going to get up at 05 every morning and I'm going to hit the gym. That's my new routine. There are going to be days when I don't want to get up at 05. The alarm goes off, my bed feels good and it's warm. And you know what? That extra 30 minutes of sleep, that just sounds so enticing. So what you're doing when even as I'm talking, I'm negotiating with myself. So what you do not negotiate. You tell yourself, no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling, I am not going to negotiate with myself, because I have enough self-love or discipline that I'm going to get up when that alarm goes off. Because when I go to the gym, I'm not going to have a bad workout. There are no bad workouts. And when I leave the gym, I'm going to feel so proud of myself. I'm building muscle mass, which is like the organ of longevity. I am going to, there's just so much goodness. I'm going to get the dopamine hit and the feel good chemicals releasing in my body that I did something and I'm pushing myself. So I'm building new neural networks. I mean, I could go all day about the goodness of just simply doing something that you tell yourself you're going to do and then doing it consistently. And it's so wild how that really transforms your world, because if you do it with the small things, you're going to do it and it's going to translate to the bigger things, to starting the business when you have no idea how to do it, or to asking the girl or the guy out when you've been wondering about it for so long. I mean, it really does translate into everything, because you're building and refining those muscles with the small things to the big things. So it's pretty wild when you understand what it actually does for you and how habits are really the building blocks of life. It's how we shape our time. It's how we spend our greatest currency, which is time. So when you really look at it, and you're like, wow, this has a lot of power. You're going to start handling your time, your habits, how those micro actions every day to the macro actions. You're going to start operating differently, which gets you to peak performance a whole hell of a lot quicker.
Once again, listen to Refocused Radio and watch us online. Talk to our guest, Rebecca Fitzsimmons. She's the founder of Technical Harmony. Go to her website, technicalharmony.com. And like you said, from the small details to the greater picture, the greater picture, if you break it down, is represented by the small details. So if the small details are missing, then guess what? They're going to miss in the big picture as well. So that's a great transition to talking about overcoming challenges, because high performance individuals, they are not superheroes. They can be at moments, but in real life, 24 hours in a day, they have battles just like any other human being. So when it comes to some of the common challenges that you've seen as a former NCIS agent and also in your entrepreneur career, what are some of the things that you see are common challenges that you constantly are trying to build stronger habits to overcome them?
Yeah, I would say, there's so many, right? But I would say just a couple, very generally, is letting fear take over, letting fear of failure, or moreover, fear of success. What would my life look like if I were successful? Would my relationships continue with me? What would my bank account look like? What would my world look like? Fear of success is so powerful. Fear of failure, of course, fear. It's something that it ties into your self-worth. It ties into doubt. It goes into limiting beliefs. And the first part of that is really raising awareness to it. Because a lot of times we just go through the emotions. We do go through those, but we go through the motions. We just we wake up each day. It's like automatic, right? We brush our teeth, take a shower, make our coffee, whatever your morning routine is. You don't really give it a lot of thought because you're programmed. It's just like when you drive a car, you don't really think about driving it because it's automatic. You don't think about breathing. You don't think about digesting your food. You don't think about your heart beating. That's your subconscious mind and programming doing its thing. But your subconscious mind, and this is something huge, is the most powerful part because it holds your beliefs, your values. I call it your operating system, your blueprint. You get what I'm saying. So what we need to do is we need to tap into that. We need to raise our awareness to all the things that we've been taught since we're children. And is it serving me or is it not? So a common limiting belief that I see is money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. And you might think and operate like that, or people that have a lot of money, they're stingy or they're cruel. Let's just pick on that example. Well, is that true? If people have money, are they really mean? If people have money, does that mean they're evil or it's the root of all evil? No, that's not. But if you've been taught that, or if you're conditioned to believe that, your actions and behaviors and your thoughts are going to correspond to that. They're tied. So what we want to do is we want to bring up the things, I call it the BS, the belief systems that we've been telling ourselves, and we need to analyze it and say, hey, is this serving me? Is this empowering me? Is this getting me from where I am to where I want to go? Or is this something that's keeping me playing small, playing safe, which is the job of our brain. It's Jurassic. It wants to keep us safe and fight or flight. That's why when you try something new, you feel uncomfortable because you're like, ooh, I haven't seen this movie before. Your brain's doing its job. So again, you need to bring everything to your conscious state, to your awareness, so you know that discomfort is a sign of growth. We don't grow when we're comfortable. We grow when we're outside outside of our comfort zone. We need to look at our beliefs and are they serving us? Are they limiting? Or are they actually getting us again from where we are to where we want to go? So having that fear, we just have to say, okay, I'm going to feel a little hesitant, a little scared, but successful people do that. And then they take that fear, they hold hands with it, and then they move forward, which is called courage. It's having the fear. It's not trying to get rid of it. Everyone has it. Everyone in this world has it. But they hold hands with it and they move anyway. That's the definition of courage, because you can't have courage without the absence of fear. So I would say letting fear take over and not redefining your relationship with it. And to give one other example of something that I see, it would be Making decisions. When in charge, be in charge. Leaders need to lead. So if you're paralyzed by the fear, and then you have, I think a common term is analysis paralysis, or you might overthink or pick something apart and then you procrastinate, or if you're trying to make something perfect, all of these things kind of fill this bucket. You're not moving. You're not executing. You're not taking messy action. You're not taking inspired action and actually doing the darn thing. Because when you do, you get the gift of feedback. So you can see, hey, this thing is working. This is not. You can pivot. You can adjust fire. You can do all of the things. But sitting still, you're going to get stagnant. You're not going to grow. You're not going to evolve. You're going to collect dust. I mean, in this world, this greater world, if you are not growing, you're going to die. I mean, I know it sounds harsh. You're not going to thrive. Like, you will become extinct. You have to grow. You have to evolve, which means you need to move. You don't need to move so fast. You can just baby steps. The step in front of us. Everyone has a step in front of us. Crawl, walk, run. So those would probably be the two big things, is letting fear take over and then letting fear paralyze you so you're not actually moving or doing anything. Those are two big things that I've seen in NCIS, in the private sector, as a business owner. I've seen it pretty commonly.
Once again, listening and watching this online, I Am Refocused Radio, talking to our guest today, Rebecca Fitzsimmons. She is the founder of Tactical Harmony. Go to her website, tacticalharmony.com. And this key point, you said the word courage. And I remember a guy who talked to me in the barbershop. He's a former Air Force guy. He said, it's not the day you're born or the day you die that people care about, is what happened to dash. And I think when I think about that, and I think about where the show used to be at a local barbershop here in San Antonio to now reaching a global audience and then some, is crazy. I tell people all the time, I'm not going to take much of this interview, but just so people understand the impact of the show. I mean, we literally went from 2 microphones and a USB mixer to basically every resource you can imagine. We now have the resources to get this a lot further from a barbershop. And I won't go in detail because it'll take too long getting the technical aspect of it, but it's literally mind-blowing. And people like yourself and others that have been fortunate to be on the show, you talking about courage. Imagine you wake up to an email, you see all this list of people that you got to interview. It's like, whoa, talk about above my pay grade. Like, wow. So, it takes that courage. And last thing I want to say for our audience, because we're talking about holistic leadership, the technical part is something that it has to happen. It's like you can't live inside a textbook. You can read all the books in the world, but until you start living your life, you're just reading books. It's like a blueprint. It looks pretty until you actually have to do construction. Because at the construction point, that's when you realize the materials you need to build. If you don't have the materials, then you just got to find it. Because you go back to the foundation of the vision is that you want to make it happen. So you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want to make it happen? So the construction part is the hard part, but seeing the fruit of your labor is the best part. Like the show reaching so many people around the world now, it took time. It wasn't like I planted the seed and yesterday it just bloomed and I have the harvest. No, it was planting the seed and waiting years for it to actually come out the soil. And now that it's providing shade, is even more responsibility. So my key point is that the harmony is great, but the technical part is something that is always constantly in your face.
1000%. And that's why I always tell people when they lack that clarity, and there's so many strategies to unpack, but one that I absolutely love, and I actually put it in my book, is do the rocking chair test. You're in your 80s, 90s, 100s, and you're on your rocking chair and you're looking back at your life. Are you proud? Are you fulfilled? Did you do everything that you wanted to do? Are there any areas that you wish you would have done something, or dare I say regret that you wish you would have done, insert XYZ, whatever it is? And we're never going to be as young as we are in this moment, right? That we anchor in this moment. It is a gift. That is all we're guaranteed. The past is done. The future is not guaranteed. So right now, what can we do right now? Like, commit yourself. What is one thing? Send the email, send the text, sign up for the course or the coach, or whatever that is for you, do it now. If nothing else, that when you're doing that rocking chair test, you're not going to have regret, because no matter how it shakes out, right? The outcomes are always like the byproduct. It's who you become in the process, the journey, that really is the becoming and what it's all about.
But once again, I can believe time is already almost expired. But like you've been saying, living the moment is something that the history books will thank you for, because if you don't take the moment, I mean, I love the song from 8 Mile. Are you going to lose it, right? Are you going to take the moment? Are you going to lose yourself, or are you going to let it slip by? Because it's a lot easier to let life slip by you, and it's a lot easier to settle based on what people say and what people try to say you can or cannot do. It's so easy to live inside the box of what others put you in, or you can break out that box and say, I don't believe in boxes anymore. I'm not going to worry about what limits are being placed by other people's ideas. I say this a lot of times, and that is, if you hold on to your dream holds on to you. And you can never be told no, because at the end of the day, you are your life. And as long as you believe, then there's nothing on this earth that can put you in a box. You have to be who you want to be. And if you can't be that, then like you said, you don't collect dust until you die.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 1,000%.
But once again, I want our listening audience and those who are watching us online, talking to our guest, Rebecca Fitzsimmons. So go to her website. She's the founder of Tactical Harmony. Go to her website, tacticalharmony.com, and learn all about her holistic leadership coaching. And also, you have a podcast that you also do is entitled Tactical Harmony. For those who want to tune in, what's the best way that they can find your resources and your podcast?
Yeah, like as you said, tacticalharmony.com has everything, all my coaching packages, keynote speaking, everything that I'm currently offering. My book, which is called Unleashed, Holistic Leadership Insights from Our Canine Companions, because dogs are the greatest teachers out there. They display everything from grit and resilience to discipline to influence to love and connection. So you can grab that on Amazon, also listed on my website. And then as my podcast is Tactical Harmony, it's on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So yeah, you can find everything on my website, tacticalharmony.com. And before we go, I just want to thank you. I am deeply grateful from the bottom of my heart for me to be able to be on your amazing show. I love what you are doing, and I've had an amazing conversation today. So I just wanted to really express my appreciation for you and everything that you do.
Well, I appreciate that. And I have to have you on again, because this was a masterclass. I know I say that a lot, but y'all have to understand, getting these valuable guests is not easy, man. If you think it's easy, you start a podcast show and try to find some quality guests. I'm telling you, it's a lot of saturation going on there. Not knocking nobody, but the point is, when you want value, it takes time. And obviously, our guest took time to develop her dreams and her ambitions to not just carry out her previous career, but her current career as a CEO and founder of her own business. All that takes planting seeds and do what farmers do best. Help that seed grow. So with all that said, land the plane, I want to say thanks to Rebecca Fitzsimmons for your time.
Thank you so much.